Hey guys, Miss Warren here. We are doing our clay dragon eyes. I have two examples of ways to make the eyes. The one where you cut it in and glue it to the back, and one where we're going to melt a marble into this divot a little bit later. Now it's time to start adding your details. I'm going to always start with adding my eyelids, and I want a double eyelid. So just like on this final one, they actually tripled the eyelid up here, and they doubled the eyelid below. I'm going to start with the eyelid. So I'm going to take my extra clay that I cut off the edge, and I'm going to start shaping it. Now this is the same process whether you're going to add eyelids or scales or anything. You're going to start shaping it, and I'm going to roll it between my hands. I'm actually going to scooch this over. I'm going to roll it here. So if you want to make little spirals or little squiggly lines, you would start with a snake of clay like this. You can kind of measure it out. It's good enough for the bottom, so now I have a piece for the bottom and the top. I'm going to thin it out just a little bit. Make it a little more even. Okay, so if you want anything to stick to this piece, you have to do the 4 S's. Score, slip, smush, and smooth. So to score is to deeply scratch. So we're going to deeply scratch with a paper clip the side that we want to stick down. Then we're going to deeply scratch the side of the piece where we're going to stick this. So they're scored. Now the second step is to slip. We're going to add the super wet clay slip that works like glue. You can use a popsicle stick or your fingers. I'm just going to grab a little of my fingers, and I'm going to rub it in all the scratches I just made. Those scratches, let it fill up with the slip so it super sticks. If you do not do these steps and you just try to smush on your clay, it's going to fall off. Every year, I have a student that thinks they can skip this, and then all their little scales and eyelids and beads fall off. So I put the slip on each side, and now I'm going to smush it into place. Just how I want it. Then I'm going to take, if your finger is small enough, you can get in there and smooth, but my finger is kind of big, so I'm going to get a popsicle stick, and I'm going to smooth out the edges, right around the edges here. Score, slip, smush, and smooth. Now I'm going to get the bottom eyelid just so y'all can see this again. I'm going to scratch it up here where I want it to stick. So that's score. I'm going to scratch it up on this side too. It's going to stick better if you scratch up both sides. I'm going to slip both sides. Fill all those scratches with slip. And then I'm going to smush. This is a little bit longer than I needed it to be, so I'll just pinch off the little edges here and here. And now I'm going to smush it down, and then I'm going to smooth it out. Take my popsicle stick, go on the inside and the outside, and smooth that up. Okay, score, slip, smush, and smooth. Now, I'm going to show y'all how to shape a few other things. If I wanted a small, like, spherical piece, I would just take a little pinch of clay and I would start rolling it in between my fingers, or I could roll it in my hand like this. This is how you make a small sphere. And then yet again, if you wanted to stick those along here, you could make a couple spheres. I'm going to start rolling it in my fingers and roll it in my hand. And then you would score. Slip. Do both sides, score, slip, smush. And if you want to keep it spherical, don't smush too hard, but make sure it's on there good and smooth it out. Now, if you wanted to do, let's say you wanted to do a little scale, something flatter. So I'm going to kind of round it out the same, but then I'm going to press my thumb into it. Or you could press it on the board, and there you have a little scale. But same thing, I'm going to take the back, I'm going to score it. You don't want to get too flat with these either because they'll be really fragile. Score, slip on each, just a little bit because that's already kind of wet from the thing next to it. Smush, and then on this one I can smooth out here. Now if I was going to do a row of scales, I would kind of tuck the next one behind it. Still score right here, slip, slip, smush, and smooth. It's kind of hard to get in there if you're overlapping stuff. And there's layered scales. Now, if you wanted to do some fancy shapes, I'm gonna move this up a little bit. You could flatten your piece out kind of like you did your big piece. And you could cut a shape. Here's like a little triangle fin shape or spike shape. If you want the edges more rounded, you could smooth it with your fingers, kind of pull it a little bit. Pretty soft. Okay, and then let's see. I think I'll put it here, but yet again, score, slip, smush, and smooth out the edges if you really want it stuck on there. Okay, I'm gonna come back in the next video and I'm gonna show y'all how to add some texture to your piece.